habe ich mitgeteilt, aber das ist jetzt wieder ausgeschaltet. Entschuldigung. So, bei mir gibt es kein blauer Montag.
Okay, this is good.
Also hat nie gegeben und auch jetzt nicht mehr. It was never there. Also blauer Montag. Ja, so. Ja, ist das okay jetzt?
Ja.
So, da. Das meine ich. Also diese zwei Sätze hier. Wie können wir diese zwei Sätze kombinieren? Also daraus, durch einen Konnektor natürlich, daraus machen wir einen Satz, durch eine Konjunktion.
What?
Here, does benutzen als Connector?
Ja, genau. So, wie kann man die zwei kombinieren jetzt, verbinden?
Mit weiterführenden Nebensatz.
Ja, stimmt. Stimmt, Surbi. Kannst du dann diese zwei Sätze verbinden, bitte?
Ja, Sir. Der Mensch kann nicht erfolgreich mehrere Dinge auf einmal tun, was Wissenschaftler in neuen Untersuchungen bestätigen.
Genau, also was Wissenschaftler in neuen Untersuchungen bestätigen. So, eigentlich den ganzen Satz bis hier, der Mensch kann nicht erfolgreich mehrere Dinge auf einmal tun, was Wissenschaftler in neuen Untersuchungen bestätigen. So, der Konnektor, was bezieht sich auf den ganzen Satz. Correct? It's with reference to the entire statement. So when it is with reference to an entire statement, we cannot use a relative pronoun. Because a relative pronoun or a relative reference to a single noun.
Sir, knock einmal bitte. Es gibt Steuer.
And we are not.
So, Ihre Stimmung sind
This auditive normally begins with a Fragewort, mit etc. etc. And we form a weiterführender Nebensatz. Was Wissenschaftler in neuen Untersuchungen. Ja? Anil?
Es gibt ein bisschen Pausen zwischen deinen Sprechen.
Sir, whatever you said, we could not hear you.
Then, because in the morning my internet went again, for which I'm paying 800 rupees a month. I've complained again, and they charge me 6 months advance payment. So I'll have to look for an alternative. Is it still bad?
Yes, sir.
Bad, or is it okay, better now?
It's better. Es ist besser. Ja, es ist besser. Weiter gehen, bitte.
Ist besser? Soll ich dann noch langsamer sprechen?
Könnten Sie bitte wiederholen, was haben Sie gesagt?
Ja, das mache ich gerne, aber ist mein Audio jetzt viel besser?
Ja, Sir. Viel besser.
Okay. So, wir können hier kein Relativpronomen benutzen. Warum nicht? Ein Relativpronomen bezieht sich auf ein Nomen. Ein Nomen. A relative pronoun is with reference to a single noun, which it is qualifying and building the relative sense. But here, we are not talking about Mensch oder Dinge, but we are talking of the entire sentence. Since we are referring to an entire sentence, relative Pronomen kommt nicht mehr in Frage. So we have to look for an alternative conjunction which will give us a continuity to that entire sentence. This alternative conjunction appears in the form of a W-Frage, as a W question, with or without a preposition. Also was, wer, worüber, worin, worauf, wonach, womit, and so on. So this connector now will be called, the concept of using this connector is called a weiterführender Nebensatz. Right? It's something similar to something similar but not same to the English. What I had said earlier, when I use this word what, it actually is referring to an entire statement or statements I had made earlier. So since it refers to an entire unit, I use this what and continue the sentence. If it is with reference to only one thing, then I use a relative pronomen in English. That book that I told you about, the book that I told you about, that is a relative pronomen. I'm referring only to the book. Right? So when I use a single word, I use a relative pronoun. If I talk of an entire sentence, then I use a W connector. So here the W connector is was. Und wie ist es hier bei Nummer 2?
Sir, ein Moment, sir. Here
Yeah.
it's what qualifies was here? Mehrere Dinge? Because a lot of
No. Der Mensch kann nicht erfolgreich mehrere Dinge auf einmal tun. The whole thing.
Okay.
The whole set. A human being cannot multitask successfully.
No, sir. I think you said two nomen by nomen. That's why I'm thinking their mensch and
No, it's not.
it's not like.
My thing was there are two nouns here, and we are not qualifying either of them.
Okay.
We are qualifying the entire sentence.
Okay, yeah.
The human being cannot successfully do many things at one time.
Okay, but we should not use here the referring their mensch. Nine.
No. The mensch will not have the. It will either have their, den.
Yeah, there are then. Yeah, ich meine das. Yeah.
It can't be dinge.
Hmm.
So we're not qualifying things. We're not qualifying mensch, but we are qualifying the entire fact that a human being cannot do many things at the same time successfully. Something that has been confirmed by scientists in new research, recent research.
Yeah. Danke.
Ja? Okay, Nummer 2.
So, ich habe auch eine Frage.
Ja, Sulbi?
Ich habe verstanden, weiterführende Nebensatz, aber früher habe ich nicht das as a connector gelernt.
Als connector.
Ja, Sir.
If you look at the next one, it will be obvious to you.
Ja, Sir, das, darin, ich habe das nicht as a connector gelernt.
Yeah, now we are learning it. That's a topic here.
Okay, Sir.
Remember, as a connector, this is being broken up into different units. Because actually, I would have done it at one go, but the book suggests that we do it separately. Das ist Lektion, welche Lektion ist es? Lektion 3, stimmt?
Ja, Sir.
weiterführende Nebensätze.
So
That's the
weiterführende
technique.
Nebensätze mit was und W-Frage, W-Word,
Yes,
W-Fragewörter.
that's
Und
it.
ja,
That's it.
aber ich habe die Frage, ich habe nicht like darin as a connector und das as a connector gelernt.
That connector will depend on what you are trying to say.
Ich habe da Compositor gelernt, aber mit da Compositor
Ja.
Verb am Ende.
Da Kompositor bedeutet Pronominal Adverb.
Ja, Sir. Aber hier ist Connector.
Das ist hier Connector mit worin, because the darin, when you connect it, will not connect to the meaning of the sentence. Darin is given as a follow-up after a full stop. But when you
Da,
want to follow up with a comma, you have to change darin, weshalb, dadurch und so weiter to worin, weshalb, wodurch.
Sir, here darin qualifies a whole sentence.
Yes.
Like worin.
Yes, it qualifies the whole sentence, but it comes after a full stop.
Okay.
But we
Here
don't
gibt,
want the full stop.
okay, Sir. Hier gibt es zwei Sätze.
When you remove the full stop and put a comma, yeah, by putting a comma, you are continuing the sentence. Ja. Und wir machen daraus einen Satz. Correct?
Yeah.
We are forming only
So
one
respect.
sentence
Oh,
here.
hello. Sir Sinsita?
So,
Knock and mal skipped Sturm.
oh, das ist ein Problem. One moment, let me just check if the other room is free. Because my wife has got a class in that other room. Just a moment, huh? One moment, I'll just check and come.
So Hanchal, so du Herr Leute gestern Übungen gemacht? Hanchal, bist du da? अच्छा, ठीक है. परसों सैटरडे. Okay.
Okay.
So this is from Lehrbuch, ist das? Ist das von
Ja,
Lehrbuch?
ich bin im Lehrbuch. Ich bin immer noch im Lehrbuch.
Ja.
Aber jetzt brauche ich ein paar Minuten Zeit, nach unten zu gehen. So if you just give me a minute's time, I'll go downstairs.
Yes, sir, kein Problem.
Yeah, I'm upstairs in my daughter's room, which I've converted into my study temporarily. Now I've sent my wife to the common study we have. It's a study room. We have an Arbeitszimmer.
Super.
I told her to go there in that room, and I'll go downstairs and sit at the dining table. So just give me a minute. Ja, aber you can weitermachen.
Zeitnummer, weißt du? Survey?
48. 48.
48. Oh, danke.
Ja, 48.
Okay, ich versuche weiter jetzt. Du hast.
Okay.
Zumindest eine der Aufgaben wird nur mit halber Kraft bearbeitet, worin der Profis für das Multitasking bestehen. Ist das
Bestehen.
richtig? Huh? Richtig?
Nicht bestehen, sondern
Hm.
besteht.
Besteht, besteht, ja. Besteht bekommen.
Ja, mach weiter. Ich kann hören.
Okay. Okay. Jetzt dein dran. Survey. Anchal. Was das?
Achel
Anchal, wenn du kannst sprechen, dann
heißt
ist
Achel
es.
ist nicht da.
Ja. Okay, Survey. Dein dran.
Ja. Ein
Ja, du bist an
telefonierter
der Reihe.
Ein telefonierter Autofahrer konzentriert sich gleichzeitig auf den Gegenverkehr und das Gespräch, weshalb er keine Kapazitäten mehr frei hat.
Okay. So, in diesem Kasus, Il-Verb, einige Verb bleibt gleich, richtig? Ja, das
Ja,
ist,
nur
ja.
wir nutzen Verben.
Ja, wir wechseln nur von deshalb,
Ja,
wir, wir konvertieren W-Frage hier. Mit. Oh, hier, vierte, ich versuche vierte.
Ja, ich bin da. Ist das okay jetzt? Okay.
Ja, wir
Entschuldigung,
arbeiten
Sir.
fast gemacht.
Entschuldigung, Sir. Sir, meine Frage ist, was bedeutet
Ja,
darin? Was bedeutet darin und was bedeutet das? In welchem Kontext benutzen wir darin und das? Ich habe verstanden, dass the worin was is connected with the whole sentence, but I want to know what is the significance of da und darin here.
What is the meaning of this entire sentence here?
Yes, with darin und das, what sentence holds what meaning?
I'm asking you that same question. Darin besteht der Preis für das Multitasking. What does this second half mean?
Sir, ich brauche Bildschirm zu lesen.
Where is my Bildschirm? It's disappeared?
Yes, sir.
It's Thailand. We can nur Word document.
Nee, also Bildschirm ist da.
Wait, sir. Aber der Text ist nicht da.
Ja,
Moment.
Bildschirm ist da.
Wie ist das
Ja,
jetzt?
aber ich kann nicht den Text sehen.
Wieso?
Nein, Sir. Ich kann nicht sehen.
Ich kaufe.
Ist Word document.
Nee, why? Nee, this should be
Ja,
there.
Ja, das.
Ja, Sir. Sir,
Is
das
it okay?
bestätigen. Yes, Sir.
Ja.
Sir, was bedeutet das hier? Ich habe verstanden, dass was का रोल क्या है, worin क्या है. Ich habe das verstanden. Aber ich möchte wissen, was bedeutet das hier? Was das hier bedeutet?
Okay? Ist das jetzt richtig? Der Satz hier? Der Mensch kann nicht alle Dinge auf einmal tun. Der Mensch kann nicht erfolgreich mehrere Dinge auf einmal tun. Das ist egal. Also das interessiert mich nicht, ob ich denn... Ja, das ist richtig. Ja. Okay. Der Mensch kann nicht alle Dinge auf einmal tun. Das alles, der ganze Satz, haben die Wissenschaftler neulich bestätigt. Das is with reference to this entire statement. Das haben die Wissenschaftler neulich bestätigt.
Und das ist nicht richtig hier.
What is not richtig?
Das.
Who says that?
फिर हम was क्यों कर रहे हैं वहाँ पे?
क्योंकि हम लोग ये full stop हटा रहे हैं.
ओके, अगर हम full stop लगा दें
तो was
तो
नहीं
das ठीक है वहाँ पे फिर.
एकदम ठीक है.
फिर was नहीं आएगा.
नहीं आएगा.
ओके. तो फिर एक चीज आपने और बताई है कि 10 यहाँ पे फिर किसी सिंगल नोमेन को रिप्रेजेंट करेगा.
सिंगल नोमेन को कैसे करेगा? पूरे थॉट को करेगा ना.
सिर्फ दोनों में सिर्फ इतना ही फाइन डिफरेंस है कि एक में कॉमा आएगा और एक में फुल स्टॉप आएगा.
समझने के लिए तो सबसे आसान वही तरीका है. That's the easiest.
Sir, ich habe auch eine Frage.
Ja?
Ich habe noch eine Frage.
Ja, bitte.
Sir, comma और full stop में क्या difference होता है? Like, yeah, that's a silly question. अब in A1, A2 or B1 ich habe gelernt, dass before connector wir verwenden Komma. Nicht full stop.
Who said that? Who said that? Who said connector? We can use a comma wherever we please.
Zum Beispiel, morgen habe ich einige Arbeit, deshalb kann ich nicht.
Ich weiß nicht, wer das dir erzählt hat, aber ich schreibe gerade einen Satz. Is the sentence over? What I've written?
No, sir.
Why not?
Wegen der Komma.
So what does the comma mean?
Komma
Next. Something, we talk about new thing.
So that is that not a major difference between a full stop and a comma?
Ja, Sir. Aber ich habe Frage, like, ich sage einen Satz, ich habe einige Arbeit, Komma, deshalb kann ich nicht morgen an der Klasse teilnehmen. Und ich habe auch eine Frage, ich habe einige Arbeit, Full Stop, deshalb kann ich nicht an der Klasse teilnehmen.
ओके सर, कॉमा आगे लेके जाता है, फुल स्टॉप नई बात शुरू कर देता है.
Full stop means like two sentences und comma means einige Satz.
That is the answer which you have given me yourself.
Sir, I know, but here
see what you have given me with a deshalb, I can make two sentences out of it.
सर कहने का मतलब ये है कि लाइक देसाल से कॉमा लगा के भी कर सकते हो और फुल स्टॉप लगा के भी कर सकते हो, तो दोनों में डिफरेंस क्या हुआ?
फुल स्टॉप लगाओगे तो दसाब लगाने की जरूरत क्या है?
तो इस इधर थर्ड सेंटेंस में क्यों लगा रखा है?
इसमें लगाने की क्या जरूरत है? Ich habe morgen viel Arbeit, full stop. Ich kann nicht an der Klasse teilnehmen.
अगर यहाँ पे देसाब लगाता है तो सर क्या होता है? नहीं लगा सकते?
फिर full stop हटा दो. Because you are continuing the sentence. You are continuing the sentence.
Okay. First sentence, sir. Here
Basically,
it
you are combining the two sentences. You are trying to join the two sentences. When you join the two sentences, then you have to put a comma.
Okay, sir.
Entschuldigung, Sir. Sir, ich habe eine Frage. Tut mir leid.
Ja.
सर, अगर हम एक सिंगल मीनिंग देखें, सिंगल मीनिंग, वोरिन और दारिन का अपना अपना मीनिंग क्या है सर?
Worin is the question and darin is the answer. On its own, अलग अलग उनकी existence देख रहे हो तो one is a question.
Yes, sir. This is what I want to know, basically.
One is an answer.
अगर मैं हिंदी में देखूं या इंग्लिश में देखूं, दारिन जैसे देशाल का मतलब हो गया इसलिए
नहीं बैठेंगे.
नहीं बैठेंगे.
नहीं बैठेंगे. इंग्लिश हिंदी में नहीं बैठते हो. We don't use these kind of pronominal adverbs.
Okay, sir.
नहीं
Okay,
सर,
sir.
ये sorry, I was also thinking about it. इसलिए किस लिए ऐसे होगा ना, something like that. इसलिए किस लिए.
Correct.
Also, sie haben vier Jets in their class interested, aber im dritten Jahr deshalb hier im Lehrbuch, ja, und for deshalb hier ist full stop, nicht
Ja.
Komma.
Again, because this whole thing is being full formulated here. The thought is over, full stop. 2 मिनट बाद मैं बोलता हूँ deshalb hat er keine Kapazität mehr frei.
अब सब उसको आगे तो कर दियो ना, सेंटेंस को आगे तो कर.
आगे तो क्या है, क्योंकि मुझे 500 पेज की किताब नहीं लिखनी. अगर आगे मैं बढ़ना चाहता हूँ 100वें पेज पे मैं deshalb लिखता हूँ, तुम समझ लोगी? नहीं समझ पाओगी. तो इसलिए यहाँ फुल स्टॉप लगाया. Nach einer Pause mache ich mit dem Satz weiter. छोटी उम्र में ही बच्चों को सच्चाई के बारे में बताना चाहिए. वरना आगे जाके वो गलत हरकत कर बैठेंगे. इतना लंबा पॉज देने के बाद मैंने वरना कहा है. अब तक तो तुम्हारी सोच कहीं और ही चली गई होगी. So since I cannot give you such a pause, such a long pause, I put a Porenviram there. Also Kinder sollten schon in der Frühalter von der Wichtigkeit der Wahrheit erzogen werden. Sonst werden sie Kriminelle. So I've taken this as two sentences because I stopped at one thought. Then the second thought came to me after a short pause. So by then I'd already ended the sentence. So the second thought, which is connected to the previous thought, comes after a kleiner Pause. So ich führe jetzt weiter mit dem Satz, because I can't go back to that sentence which I had said earlier. In a conversation, nobody does that. But if I already formulated my sentence earlier, then I give you the entire statement at one go. That's how it works in usage. And that is what is being taught to us here. Remember, when I speak, I use only pauses. I cannot use the word comma. Weil es morgen regnet, Komma, niemand sagt das. Weil es jetzt zu heiß ist, Komma, gehe ich nicht aus. Niemand sagt das. So when you speak, the comma and the full stop are your natural breaks. Weil es heute so viel Sonne gibt, gehe ich nicht aus. The minuscule pause is there. And this pause gives me that break in the sentence. Because when we speak, we never use any of these orthografische Zeichen. Ach so, Ausrufezeichen. Wohin gehst du? Question mark. Nobody asks like that, right? So the tonal inflection which we use when we speak has been translated into Zeichen, signs and symbols, which are used in writing. So when I write something here, how do you know what kind of sentence is it, what kind of expression it is? I can read it in a very disinterested way. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God,
Yeah, so Vaishnav.
oh my God. The moment I put a question mark, you will read it with the question mark, with the tone going up. Oh my God. Ausrufezeichen. Oh my God. Ausrufezeichen. So what you see here are basically translations of the pauses, the tones, the inflections, the rise, the fall of what you speak. In Hindi, we have also something called Ardhaviram and Puranviram. Isn't it? When you write in Hindi, there's Ardhaviram and Puranviram. Otherwise, bedeutet ein Ardhaviram oder ein Puranviram?
Comma or full stop?
If I'm not wrong, Ardhaviram is normally a single vertical line and a Puranviram is double line. The end of the sentence, the end of that thought.
Where we use like this, sir, column?
Bida?
Where we are using this one, columns? Purnaviram, Ardhaviram?
In Hindi. In Hindi.
In the language.
Yeah.
No
Because
common.
in our languages, especially Sanskrit and Telugu and the others, we have borrowed this from other languages. By itself, we don't have these kind of things. You have to learn to break the words and the sentences yourself. To make things easier, we have modernized the language a bit. Yeah, that's where if you look at all the ancient shlokas, Sanskrit shlokas also, at the end of the sentence or where the shloka ends, there will be a line there to tell you this is
In shlokas, okay, right, yeah. Okay, but in right now in the modern scripture, we are not using, right? Modern literature.
No, they don't use that. They use a
Yeah.
comma. They use a comma and a
Okay.
full stop.
Okay, yeah. Ich habe first.
Das ist jetzt modernisiert.
Mm.
Total modernisiert. So, das ist eigentlich eine kleine Pause. Also ich habe einen Bruder, eine Schwester. Now I have full stop. Ich habe einen Bruder, eine Schwester, einen Job und by using und, I'm sending out a signal to you that what I'm going to put after und will be the last of the item, of the sentence. So there is a role for every word that we are using in the sentence. I can put instead of comma, und here also. Ich habe einen Bruder und eine Schwester und einen Job und eine Frau. The moment I say on, there is something in addition to it. The same rule goes with comma. Ich habe einen Bruder, Pause. Ich habe einen Bruder und eine Schwester und einen Job und eine Frau. So every time I raise the tone here, man weiß Bescheid, also es kommt etwas danach. There's something coming after. And you're waiting. But when I write, you don't see my tone going. Ja, das sieht man nicht. Das hört man auch nicht, weil es beschrieben worden ist. Because it's written, you can't see this. You can't hear this. But when you speak it out in the context, you have to raise this to tell your listener that there is something following this point. Ich habe einen Bruder und eine Schwester und einen Job und eine Frau. But you don't want so many uns. I put a comma. Ich habe einen Bruder. My tone is of einen Bruder, eine Schwester, einen Job. So my rise and follow the tone itself is an indicator that the sentence continues. So the role of comma and the tone together give you the continuation. On its own, if I write this in this manner,
Until bitte, tut mir leid.
Sorry.
Danke.
when you are looking at a comma on your own, theoretically you know that there is something following the comma. But can you hear the pauser? Can you see the pauser? If I write eine here or put it close next to the comma or put it here 3 miles away, it makes no difference because that pauser here will still remain the same length of time. Ich habe einen Bruder, eine Schwester, einen Job und eine Frau. So it doesn't matter where you put this. It could be in the next line. So this entire end of blank here doesn't mean there's a huge gap. Maybe it's a typing mistake. So the role of a comma or a full stop is to give some continuity to the sentence or to end a sentence and start a new one. And the rule in German orthography, Rechtschreiberregel, zwischen einem Hauptsatz und einem Nebensatz muss ein Komma stehen, weil das Komma trennt den Hauptsatz von dem Nebensatz. That is the rule. English doesn't necessarily follow this rule of using a comma zwischen dem Hauptsatz und dem Nebensatz. Whereas German follows it very, very rigidly. You have that link, I think, Deutsche Rechtschreibung. Please check that out. Where do you put a comma? This rule will be there. Zwischen einem Nebensatz und einem Hauptsatz. So when you come back here to this topic, the simplest explanation, I want to remove this comma, this full stop, diesen Punkt, und ich möchte mal hier ein Komma einsetzen. And I want a relative pronomen for the whole sentence. Ein relative Pronomen für den ganzen Satz gibt es nicht. Ein einziges Pronomen gibt es nicht. Aber Wir haben eine Ersatzform, eine Substitute-Form. Und diese Substitute-Form, was auf den ganzen Satz sich bezieht, the one that refers to the entire sentence, is given with the other half of these pronominal adverbs. Was, das. Wen, den, wem, dem. So these can be put into the question form and used as connectors. Naturally, context, which connector? And when should I use them? Das ist die natürliche Frage. Und die Antwort darauf, es hängt von dem Kontext ab. What is it that I want to say? Der Mensch kann nicht alle Dinge auf einmal tun. Full stop. Das haben die Wissenschaftler neulich bestätigt. And that fact has been certified, confirmed recently by the scientists. So if you look at the second statement here as a follow-up, zumindest eine der Aufgaben wird nur mit halber Kraft bearbeitet. At least one of these tasks is only done with half the energy, half-heartedly, literally. So you are trying to multitask by doing two things at the same time. But only one of them you will be doing with half concentration. You cannot put full concentration on two things. The moment you say two, you are dividing by two. Is that not simple arithmetic? Das ist einfache Mathematik. Man hat das dann dividiert. Your attention is divided to two things. Is it not mathematics? The moment you say divided, what does it mean? Geteilt? It's very simple, very logical, correct? Attention is divided. You're looking at two things. So how can you give 100% to two things? 100 plus 100 becomes 200. And we measure things only in hundreds, not in 200s and 500s. So moment you have zwei Sachen vor sich, zwei, geteilt durch zwei, so 50% attention here, 50% here. The moment you say 9999, 100%. If you say 100%, the second task disappears. Theoretically. But you still say, no, I'm going to do the second task. But is it possible to give 100 out of 100 attention to the second task? No. So basically, the least you can devote to the second task is 50%. Again, by logic, if you say, no, I'll do this also. So when you say 50%, what's bedeutet das? And therein, now this is the price one has to pay for multitasking. In this lies the price for multitasking. So what is this price for multitasking which is inside this? That you have to sacrifice your 100% attention to two things. So darin besteht der Preis. Der Preis besteht darin, not das besteht der Preis. The price has to lie inside something. So we have to take the pronominal adverb darin. Worin? In the fact that zumindest einer der Aufgaben wird nur mit halber Kraft bearbeitet. Darin, in the whole sentence. In this lies the price for multitasking. That is, our attention is reduced. Our power of paying attention or doing something wholeheartedly comes down. Similarly hier, dritter Satz, ein telefonierender Autofahrer konzentriert sich gleichzeitig auf den Gegenverkehr und das Gespräch. But is it really true? Can you really concentrate on the conversation and the oncoming traffic? Gleichzeitig, simultan? It appears to be two isolated things, seeing and speaking. But where does the seeing and speaking go? Into the processor here. Unfortunately, this processor can remain only with that certain inbuilt memory. It's not like throwing out this RAM and taking another RAM. You throw out your SD RAM and take a DDR RAM, and you throw out the DDR RAM and take some other new kind of RAM. It doesn't work like this. Human mind doesn't work like this. You can't have an attachment here as an extra RAM attached to your head. So there is only that certain capacity. So what we actually think wir machen simultan ist eigentlich nicht simultan gemacht. Das Sprechen und das Sehen. Die beiden brauchen Kapazitäten. Die beiden Kapazitäten werden im Gehirn verarbeitet. They are processed here. So you're still trying to fulfill the beiden Kapazitäten. So any third task which might appear, or even this one, if that conversation suddenly goes into a problem-solving mode, and you have to give a solution to that while driving, then you're processing something else and then giving out an answer. So the result is keine Kapazitäten sind mehr frei. And that so that I've just used here is this deshalb. Right? When you go to number 4, zahlreiche Menschen erliegen dieser Illusion. Numerous people, zahlreiche, they are under this illusion that they can multitask. They fall prey to this. But does it really happen? Does it really happen? So when you look at this sentence following up, erliegen, what does it mean here, erliegen? See, erliegen dieser Illusion. What is the result of this? This illusion of I can multitask very well. I drive, I also shave while I'm driving because I have no time in the morning to shave. I also brush my teeth while I'm driving. So what does it show here? What does it show here? What happens here? You fall prey to this. You give in to this illusion. Yeah, multitasking. I do it every day. No issues. So zahlreiche Menschen erliegen dieser Illusion. So what is it that happens after this? Through this falling prey of many people to this illusion, again, the whole concept. Yeah, to succumb to basically erliegen. You give in to this illusion. Yeah, multitasking, no problem. The moment you fall prey to this illusion and you're one of the people who has this idea, through this misconception that you can multitask, you're actually wasting multiple resources, or many worthy or worthful resources are being wasted. And what is the most valuable resource, wertvolle Ressource? Zeit. You're wasting time. Through this means of falling prey, giving in to this illusion that you can multitask. So through this falling prey to the illusion by many people, every day valuable resources are wasted through this entire thing. So when you look at this datosh, thereby every day are wasted, falling prey to this illusion whereby many resources are wasted every day. So whereby they are wasted, one sentence, falling prey to this illusion, full stop, thereby you waste resources too. So thereby, two sentences. So ist der Unterschied. Deswegen heißt es weiterführender Nebensatz. It continues the thought of the previous sentence, the thought, not just one word. Die Gesamtbedeutung, the thought of the previous sentence is continued, weiterführen. Und diese Weiterführung kommt als Nebensatz vor. It appears as a Nebensatz. Nebensatz auf Deutsch, das wissen wir, hat ein Verb und dieses Verb steht am Ende des Nebensatzes. So, jetzt Fragen. Any questions? Oder ist das jetzt klar? Ja, Anil, Fragen?
Sir, here Dadosh unstart Vodosh, Rish. I think I missed something. Huh?
Vodosh.
Okay. Thank you.
Right? So, like I said, the connector depends on the verb that is used in the sentence, because this verb will refer to the previous sentence, and also that verb comes with specific prepositions. Right? So the sentence, if you want to split it up, would be for the second one. Durch Erliegen dieser Illusion werden täglich viele wertvolle Ressourcen verschwendet. By succumbing to this illusion, every day, daily, valuable resources are lost. So you can't say weshalb here. Therefore valuable. No, that succumbing will not allow the deshalb in the sentence. So you have to go by the meaning of the sentence in order to use the right conjunction. Yeah, for example, you can't say, ich komme nicht morgen, deshalb habe ich viel Arbeit. Stimmt? Das ist falsch, ne? Ich komme nicht morgen, deshalb habe ich viel Arbeit.
Weil habe ich viele Arbeit.
Genau. So, die Konjunktion hängt von dem Kontext ab. Ja, or you can't even say, sonst habe ich viel Arbeit. So, the choice of a conjunction depends on the Sprechintention oder was man sagen möchte. And that is what determines the conjunction. So conjunctions are not used at random. And this is why they have been given different meanings: causal, concessive, what else do we have? What all have you learnt? I don't even remember
Tempo.
the yeah, temporal. All these, they are used because there is a certain thought you want to continue with. It's something to do with time, then we use a temporal conjunction. It's something to do with a reason, then we use a causal. If it's something that is to do with a continuation, then we use a concessive and a consecutive, because it follows up. That's the reason why we have these words in language. And that is how they're being defined. Zum Beispiel, wenn man Soft Skills also weitergeht. Lektion 3, 4. Das habe ich hier leider vergessen. For example, here. Kausal und modal setzen. So, what is a causal Satz? Or what is a concessive concessive Konnektoren Deutsch, for example. What is concessive? Ein konzessiver Satz gibt ein Ereignis oder eine Tatsache an. It gives an event, an occurrence, a happening, or a fact. So that's how you defined it. Obwohl, for example. If I say no, I don't want concessive. I want here, let's say, consecutive Konnektoren. They are a conditional based connector, and they can be, they are the opposites, converse of a causal. A causal will be warum. Why? This will be deshalb. Warum kommst du morgen nicht? Weil ich viel Zeit habe. Aha. Okay? Nee, weil ich viel Arbeit habe. Right? Weshalb kommst du nicht? Oh, ich habe viel Arbeit. Ich habe viel Arbeit, deshalb komme ich nicht. So basically it's reversing the thing. It's a converse to the causal and connector. So they've been named differently. They've been, instead of learning all these names, it's better to learn the usage. Das ist wichtiger. Wenn man den Gebrauch lernt, dann ist es einfacher. Because you don't have to worry about what is it that you want to use. You know this is what should come here, more than enough. For example, you can't say, darin hat keine Kapazitäten mehr frei. Stimmt? In this, he has no more capacities free. That in will not work here. Similarly, darin bestätigen Wissenschaftler in neuen Untersuchungen. Das kann man auch nicht sagen. So you know this darin cannot come there. Similarly, darin werden täglich verschwendet. In that, resources are being, in what? In the succumbing. Nine. In the giving in that surrendering. No, it can't be in that surrendering. It's by surrendering, not in surrendering. So naturally the preposition will be different. It won't be in again. So our usage of conjunctions, prepositions and alle diese kleinere Wörter hängt von dem Zusammenhang, von dem Kontext, von der Bedeutung ab.
ओके सर, सो सर यू आर सेइंग कि हमें ये भी देखना पड़ेगा नाउन क्या है, नाउन देख के हम preposition लगाएंगे या वर्ब देख के हम, जैसे आपने अब यहाँ दादुश बोला, हम यहाँ दारिन नहीं कर सकते क्योंकि वो इन इन दिस नहीं सूट करेगा.
हाँ,
Like this is
correct,
okay sir.
correct,
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay.
So now what we are doing actually is looking at the Gesamtheit des Satzes. We are looking at the entirety of the sentence, not just individual parts, which we did when we were learning. Remember, at that stage, none of us ever came across such sentences. You remember? A1 und A2? Because these were simple sentences. We were learning a new language. And therefore, we learned only simple sentences so that we could master the structure slowly. Das ist genau wie beim Lernen eines Kindes.
सर आप पहले मिल जाते, पहले पढ़ा लेते हमें, कोई पहले लेवल्स आपसे कर लेते तो इतनी डिटेल में आपसे पूछते ही ना, आपको परेशान ही ना करते.
मेरे को कोई परेशानी नहीं है. Das mag ich ja. Ich erkläre gern. Also vom Beruf her bin ich Lehrer. Und
Okay,
darin,
sir,
Angel, einen Moment. Darin besteht meine Pflicht. Worin? In meinem Beruf. My duty lies in my profession, also alles dem Studenten erklären. You see why I've used darin?
in this duty में.
In what? In my profession lies my duty to explain.
और सर आपने उसके बाद एक वोरिन भी बोला, वोरिन किस कॉन्टेक्स्ट में बोला आपने? वोरिन इन माइन.
Question. Worin liegt meine Pflicht? In what does my duty lie?
ओके, वोरिन आपने इस्तेमाल किया क्वेश्चन फॉर्म में और दारिन आपने इस्तेमाल किया आंसर फॉर्म में.
Yeah.
ओके सर.
So is this.
ओके.
Now, as I say, दूध का दूध, पानी का पानी हो गया.
To an extent, sir.
Okay. So we have separated water and milk to a certain extent.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's try this Übung now. Das Gehirn kann keine Doppelleistung bewältigen. Das überrascht mich. So, wie lautet der weiterführende Nebensatz? Anil?
Yes, sir.
Ohne mit einem Komma, also was kommt hier? Das Gehirn kann keine Doppelbelastung bewältigen, Komma.
Das überrascht mich.
Komma.
So Benedson bir where, right?
Was? W-Frage, natürlich. Was?
Yeah.
Bewältigen, Komma.
Sir, was mich überrascht?
Yeah.
Was mich
überrascht?
Yeah.
In fact, my statement gave you the answer. I said,
Yeah.
was kommt hier?
Yes, sir. Was mich überrascht?
I gave you the answer, right? Was kommt hier? What comes
So
here?
yeah, here does means was comes. That's it.
Right. Simple. Yeah. Okay, let's try number 3. Bei Multitasking passieren mehr Fehler. Das ist vielen Menschen nicht bewusst.
Was vielen Menschen nicht bewusst ist.
Correct. What is it that many people don't know, are not aware of?
Yes, sir.
What is it?
By multitasking, passieren mehr Fehler. Goes many mistakes.
In this whole sentence का was में आया.
So now I got it. Darin or das सुन was, now I got it. Question और answer बोलने के तरीके का फर्क है.
Absolutely. Now let's look at number 2.
Durch Multitasking wird viel Zeit verschwendet, weswegen man es vermeiden sollte.
Can now. This is exactly what Anil had mentioned some 15-20 minutes back. इसलिए इसको अवॉइड करना चाहिए. This is the reason here.
Sir, not I'm foolish question. I know my question is foolish, but let me.
Questions नहीं होते.
मैं अपने
Anil,
दिमाग से निकाल दूं. No, sir,
questions
because I
are-
asked you earlier the same question. Took me a light, sir.
Yeah.
सर मुझे दासवास भी समझ आ गया, मुझे दारिन बोरिन भी समझ आ गया. अब जो डेस हाल्ब है, इसलिए इसको अवॉइड करना चाहिए, डेस हाल्ब, राइट. अब वेस्टवेगन भी इसलिए ही है.
Westwagen is किस लिए?
ओके सर, गॉट इट. बस यही पूछना था सर.
But the problem here in Hindi we don't form a Nebenzat with किस लिए.
यस सर, राइट.
So be careful. Be careful. Yeah, so weswegen man es vermeiden sollte, which is why, this is what it means here, which is why one should avoid it. A lot of time is wasted through multitasking, which is why
यस, which is why.
English में चलेगा, but this
Yes.
which is why Hindi में नहीं चलेगा.
Yes sir, इसलिए that's why Westwagen, which is why. Got it, sir.
Yeah. Okay.
So
And
now
the
I
last-
got it.
Excellent. Wonderful. So the last one here, beim Arbeiten werde ich ständig unterbrochen.
Beim Arbeiten werde ich ständig unterbrochen, worüber ich mich oft ärgere.
Yeah. When I'm working, I'm constantly disturbed, which is what makes me angry often.
Which is what, yeah.
Remember, direct one-to-one translation does not work. So you have to look for some equivalent thing, which is what.
Yeah.
So Anil, is this okay, my dear?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So
I think we will have homework on this, sir.
Yeah, so
yeah,
Better.
so
so
wir
that,
werden zusammen studieren heute.
Yeah.
Hopefully heute.
Yes, sonst,
there are plenty of exercise in your training and the other books. Intensive Trainer and your Arbeitsbuch also. Es gibt
okay.
viele Übungen.
Okay.
So Lektion 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, so have a look at them.
Okay.
Arbeitsbuch and Intensive Trainer, they have these words. There are plenty of sentences here. But you don't need to practice so much. Don't get so worked up on this. Also nicht so aufgeregt daran arbeiten.
Nein, sir, I think stream is nicht here, but we have to practice a lot because we forget.
Yeah,
this
practice
is
a lot,
very-
yes, not so
very-
much.
Yeah.
See, für mich, was wichtig ist, dass man das Konzept versteht. Wie werden wir das benutzen? Okay, in diesem Kontext, das in diesem Kontext, das in diesem Kontext, das. Wenn man das schon verstanden hat, das muss man üben. That's it. What comes here will come with a little bit of practice. Shall I say Vesalvia or shall I say Desalvia? How is it that I'm forming my sentence? So don't go too deep into it because you'll end up getting more nervous and confused about it. Okay, so let's continue with the text. Okay. So, was bedeutet soft skills?
Soft skills bedeutet zum Beispiel Kommunikation und what is it? I forgot English word also. Uh, to know how to speak and how to presentation, wie kann man präsentieren,
Ja, wie man sich vorstellt.
wie man das vorstellt.
Ja.
Okay, and there is a one more word in English I forgot. Personality.
Persönlichkeit.
Persönlichkeit.
Ja. So, was sagt die Frau hier? Was glaubt ihr? Worüber spricht sie? Also 10 Tonne, 20 Tonne, ja, Idee, ein Heft hier, Heftchen, ein Handy vielleicht, ein Maus und hier ein Bleistift.
Multitasking.
Ja, Multitasking, genau. Also sie erzählt ihm, erzählt dem Manager, ich kann viel Verantwortung tragen. Verantwortung? Responsibility.
What?
Responsibility.
Verantwortung.
Ja, Verantwortung. Also sie sagt, ich kann viel Verantwortung tragen. Ich bin nicht belästigt mit der Arbeit. Das mag ich gern. Ich habe viele Ideen, also ich bin kreativ. Und ich mag gern auch Multitasking. Also ich bin Superfrau. See that S hier? Yeah, so soft skills basically kommunizieren. So what is soft skills? We have a few words here in German.
Oh, super.
So can we just go to the words vocabulary? We can end on a slightly lighter note rather than a heavy one. Yeah. So let's go to the words. Kundenorientierung.
Yeah, customer orientation.
Gut. Was ist Durchsetzungsvermögen? Durchsetzungsvermögen. Was ist Durchsetzung? Ich setze mich durch. Ich bin sehr, sehr kräftig und ich kann mich durchsetzen. Nein, wir machen das. Durchsetzen.
Headstrong, stubborn, that we have to do this. I can do that.
Negative. Assertive.
Okay, assertive.
Yeah, durchsetzen is to be assertive. Assertive is more positive. When you say headstrong, that is negative.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Yeah. So Durchsetzungsvermögen is your assertiveness. Yeah, that's something you can implement. You know how to do that. So ich habe diese Kapazität. Durchsetzungsvermögen habe ich.
Vermögen bedeutet?
Ja, bitte?
Vermögen bedeutet?
On its own?
Okay.
Are you looking at Vermögen on its own or with Durchsetzung?
With Durchsetzung.
As the whole thing means assertiveness.
Assertiveness. Only Vermögen bedeutet?
That will be das Vermögen. It means assets.
Assets.
Yeah,
Okay.
das Vermögen, assets.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. So Führungskompetenz.
Competency, Führung.
Leading competition, leader competition.
Yeah, the competence.
Yeah, leading competence of leadership. Competence of leadership.
Correct, absolutely. So Teamfähigkeit, Teamorientierung.
Team activities, team orientation.
Good. Motivation. Please, articles, please.
Their motivation.
No, sir, demotivation.
Demotivation.
Tion is immer feminine, Anil.
Yeah, oh, danke.
Yeah, Zion, yeah, Demotivation. Next, Kommunikationsfähigkeit.
Kommunikationsfähigkeit, capability to communicate.
Good. Engagement.
Engagieren, yeah.
Das engagement.
What does it mean? Das is correct, or what does it mean?
Involve.
Yeah, sir. Involvement.
Well done. Commitment.
Commitment.
Yeah, commitment. Engagement.
Sir, commitment means something you have to deliver. Engagement means you have joined something.
No. Don't confuse the two. Don't confuse the two. This is
That's okay,
German. This is German
Okay.
engagement.
Okay.
German engagement is commitment. Your
Okay.
dedication to something.
Okay.
For example, das Engagement eines Sportlers. A sports person who is dedicated to his sport, to his discipline.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
Or let's take a statement from a company or a firm. Erfolg erfordert Engagement. Success demands commitment.
Excuse me, sir. Was ist die Aussprache? Engagement.
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 Yeah. Let's see if I can find it here.
Sure. Engagement.
Je.
Yeah.
This is a je sound. Let me see. 1 minute. Let me just check it out here. Media, but I found the word. But where is
ये
the...
तो मैं भूल जाऊंगी.
नहीं भूलोगे. It's a French word. नाक बंद करके बोलना है. Any French word, you have to keep your nose closed and pronounce it. Engagement. So it's
Engagement.
yeah, got it. Can you hear it now? Here.
Engagement.
Once again, I'm playing it here again.
Engagement.
Okay,
Could you
sir.
hear it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Engagement at the end. Okay. Eigeninitiative.
Initiative. Own initiative to take initiative.
Correct. Also, Artikel bitte.
D.
The
Die Eigeninitiative. Okay. Analytisches und logisches Denken. Also das Denken, this is okay. Belastbarkeit.
ballast means load.
Yeah.
Means you take overload. No.
Load. Basically, Belastbarkeit is the load itself. The capacity.
Okay.
Ich habe eine hohe Belastbarkeit.
Okay. But it means capacity.
Yes, I have a very high capacity, high resilience.
Normally, capacity in here we use. Do you have capacity? Do you have some time to work on this? Means bandwidth. Here is this also same here? Bandwidth.
No, slightly different, but this Belastbarkeit here is I will not be overloaded with work. I have a high capacity to work.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a hohe Belastbarkeit, high load capacity or high resilience. This can be used in your weight also, by weight and high holding capacity. That also is how a Belastbarkeit is. It will depend on the context also. Yeah, for example, if you're looking at a chemical solution with electrolytes, there the electrolyte is what you have in a molecular format and so on. There, the capacity of that electrolyte also depends on what kind of composition it has, and it can also have a high load composition. So the capacity can be high again, therefore an electrolyte in chemistry, for example. Yeah, or it can be also be a high load capacity, Belastbarkeit of a machine that can take high loads. Das ist auch Belastbarkeit. Nicht nur die Menschen, sondern auch die Maschinen.
Okay.
Okay, Zielorientierung, Zielstrebigkeit, beides in feminin.
Yeah, target oriented.
Correct. Okay, done. That you know. Konfliktfähigkeit.
Capability to resist or conflict.
To resolve a conflict.
To resolve a conflict.
Yeah, okay. Also, das ist something like conflict management.
Yeah.
Something similar to this. Okay.
Sir, noch einmal, Management.
Management.
ये मेंट वाले कुछ अलग है कॉन्वर्जेशन ना, अब प्रोनाउंसिएशन
No.
अलग है.
Französisch. Diese Wörter kommen aus dem Französischen.
Okay, sir.
So you have to pronounce it the French way. That is a kind of a unwritten rule, literally, that you pronounce the words if they are borrowed from another language, then you pronounce them the way they are written or spoken out in that language.
So mostly all meant the words that have meant ender
In German.
in German. Okay, sir.
In German. Don't confuse them with the English meant.
English. Okay, sir. That's why I was like using English pronunciation.
Yeah, but be careful when you say meant. All meant will not be more, because cement is cement. That is not cement.
Okay. Okay, sir. Okay.
Be careful, huh?
Yes, sir.
Most of them, those who clearly, those words that come clearly from French, sie werden mit more ausgesprochen. Okay. Begeisterungsfähigkeit. Your enthusiasm. Enthusiasm as a noun. No?
Okay.
You can also use Begeisterung ohne Fähigkeit, but this is your enthusiastic capacity.
Okay. Can we use begu or something like entu? Nein.
Nein. Das ist Englisch. Im Englischen, also verkürzen ja viele Wörter. Auch die Deutschen machen das, aber nicht bei Deutschen. Nein, also BF geht es nicht hier zum Beispiel.
Ja.
Da muss man dann Begeisterungsfähigkeit sagen. Okay. Alle Wörter, die mit Keit, Heit, Ung, Schaft.
Feminine.
Oder Tät enden.
Ja.
Die sind auch feminin.
Feminine.
Ja, so Kreativität, das wissen wir. Zuverlässigkeit. Jedes Produkt braucht ein Zuverlässigkeitstest.
Okay, yeah. This is a durable.
Durability, also reliability.
Reliable.
Ja, zuverlässig sein, to be reliable. You can also use it for people. Du kannst ihm das Geld geben. Ist er zuverlässig? Is he reliable? No, so that meaning is also here, zuverlässig. Okay, dann Organisationsfähigkeit, Flexibilität, Mobilität, Einfühlungsvermögen. Das ist das. So, what is this Einfühlungsvermögen?
Ein means a single.
Don't separate each word.
Vermögen, asset.
No. Don't go by that. Go by this. Fühlung.
Means
Ich fühle das.
independently working, something like that.
Nein, ich kann das fühlen. Ich kann etwas fühlen. Das ist meine Fühlung, das ist mein Gefühl. Was bedeutet fühlen? Sich fühlen. Feeling, okay. Also was du dich fühlst, fühle ich es auch. Also Einfühlung. Achal, guess karo. Was du dich fühlst, fühle ich auch.
Mutual feeling. Mutual.
Give me a word.
Sympathy.
Ja, das ist richtig. Ja?
Sympathy.
Nein, Empathy.
Empathy. Yeah, empathy.
I think in Dutch we have only one, like English, sympathy. Empathy is different actually.
Yeah, in German also they are different.
So here it means empathy.
This is empathy.
Okay, for sympathy?
Sympathetisch.
Sympathetic.
Sympathy is hamdardi.
Ha.
And empathy?
Empathy is something that you feel, but it's not necessarily that हमदर्दी. हाँ, मैं समझ सकता हूँ.
So, okay, sir. Okay.
I empathize with you. That means I understand what you are saying, but I don't feel the same feel that you feel.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So if you're
Okay.
using feel,
So-
then you know what I mean. Yeah.
Hamdardi is empathy in Hindi.
Hamdardhi will be, empathy in the context, yes.
Uh,
Ja. Sympathie oder Mitgefühl ist Sympathie.
Ja.
Mitgefühl, your feeling, my feeling, also ich fühle mit dir, das ist Sympathie oder Mitgefühl. Das Mitgefühl. Okay, dann Kritikfähigkeit.
Capability to handle critic.
Yes, or to give out criticism also. Weiter.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Und dann Vertrauenswürdigkeit.
Vertrauen.
Keine Ahnung, sir.
Was ist Vertrauen?
Vertrauen to trust or
Yeah.
to
So bolo फिर.
Trustability.
Trustworthiness.
Trustworthiness. Yeah.
That is something very much lacking. Also viele Menschen in Indien haben keine Vertrauenswürdigkeiten in dem Arzt heute oder in der Vaccine.
Yeah, sir.
They don't have this trustworthiness in the vaccine. They all think that vaccine लगा के मर जाऊंगा मैं. So I don't want to get impfed. I don't want the vaccine. Ja, so that is that Vertrauen. Ich habe kein Vertrauen. Selbstvertrauen. Was bedeutet Selbstvertrauen?
Self-belief.
Self-belief. Wonderful.
So we can use self-bewusst also. Oh, no. Sorry, took me line.
Selbstbewusstsein. As one word.
Self-conscious. Self-consciousness.
Yes, correct. So look at the number of words that you know already. Did you know that you knew so many words?
Individually, we know some.
That's exactly my point. Although your passive vocabulary is huge. So if this comes in a context, you'll be able to understand it without you having used them before. Stimmt?
Yeah, from passive to active, but nice.
Not easy. Not easy. It's not easy in any language, let alone Deutsch. So don't think that we do it in our languages. Nein, wir machen das auch nicht. Right, so a simple reading exercise here. Each one is about 40 lines overall. If you find the time, please do go through them, both the text separately, A und B. And for this entire text, für den ganzen Text A und auch für den ganzen Text B, brauche ich passende Überschriften. I need a suitable title to the text.
Oh, super.
That means the entire 40 lines you are summarizing in a title. It can be one word, it can be more than one word, but don't make it an entire sentence. Don't make it a whole sentence. It should look like a title, read like a title, and by reading that title, I should be able to, or a reader should be able to know what is there in this text.
These exercises are really exciting. We are not learned enough
Yes.
like this.
Yes, exactly. They are all practical orientierte Übungen. Ganz praktisch sind diese Übungen hier. Sehr, sehr praktisch. So first they give you a title and say write an essay on that. So a small word is given and you're expected to write a huge thing. But now a huge text is given and you're supposed to compress it into a small bit. So if you can find the time, 40 Zeilen wird nicht sehr lange dauern. I think you know most of the words here. I don't think there are any words that you don't know. And besides, from the context, you should be able to make out, even if there are a couple of unknown words. From what I see here, I think you have all the words. Behalten, bewerben. There's only one that I see that may be new to you. Fortan. Und können fortan bedeutet weiter.
Weiter.
Weiter. That's it. Weiter. Okay, so see if you can go through this and then let me know if you found a title to each of them.
Ja, okay. Sir, ich brauche deine Hilfe. Okay, if you are done with, okay, ich habe Fragen.
Yeah, we are done. We are done here.
Okay,
We are done.
thank you.
I wanted to do some work, grammar work, but I think we'll leave it out. Surabhi and Abhi both are not there. So we'll do our grammar at the beginning of the class and then move on to the texts afterwards.
Okay, sir.
Text reading is something that you can do. So how's how?
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
We'll leave this here. Yeah, Frage. Anil.
Sir, could you please share some this one, sir? I am preparing this one comical script. Okay, here I have joined the Toastmaster Club. Sir, you must be knowing Toastmaster Club, right? Toastmaster
No,
Club. Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
Toastmaster Club is like it's a platform. Okay.
I've heard about it, but I don't know it, the complete functioning. Toastmasters Club,
Yeah.
I've heard
Yeah.
about the
It's
functioning and everything.
yeah. It's actually it started in US. Okay, it's around
Yeah.
1930.